Hi everyone, and welcome to Mahs with Dan. I just want to say thank you for the massive support recently. My channel has grown quite a lot more than expected in the last few days. But we move, and I've been given a lot of suggestions for certain topics people want to go over, seeing as we're getting closer to exam periods. I'm going to try and go through as many as I can. However, I doubt I'll be able to get through all of them. So my email will be in the description to recommend sort of topics, or in the comment box. My private tuition is now currently closed. However, that doesn't mean you can't email for private tuition for if you want tuition after this exam period, as I will start tutoring again in August. And so today we're going to be looking at error intervals, and let's just get right into the video. So pretty much with question 1, it says the weight of a bag of potatoes is 15 kilograms, correct to the nearest kilogram. Write down the possible value weights of the bag of potato, write down the smallest value. So the smallest value, this pretty much means what is the smallest value 15 can have that would round to 15. So it would be 14.5, because 14.5 is the smallest value that would round up to 15. If it was 14.6, it would still round up, but it wouldn't be the smallest value. But if it was any lower than 14.5, it would round down to 14. So the smallest value is 14.5. Next question, write down the largest possible weight of the bag of potatoes. So what is the largest weight it could have at 15? A lot of people, the answer is 15.5, because 15.5, that's the largest value it could be. However, when I first looked at this, when I was younger, I thought the largest value would only be 15.4, because 15.5 would round up to 16. However, on the spec, this isn't what it is. For some reason, with error intervals, is actually the largest value is 15.5. So even though it would actually round to 16, but it's just that is what it is. It says on the mark scheme that on the spec as well. So it is what it is. And next question, length of line is 81 centimeters. Correct the nearest centimeter. So we're looking at that one. Write down the least length of the line. So what's the smallest value for it to round to 81? That would be 80.5, because 80.5 is the smallest value it could round to 1. So pretty much, always with these sort of questions, you always literally pretty much just remove the last value and then put another decimal next to it and just put 5, something similar to it's basically like the next question is write down the greatest length of the line. So it's 81.5. What's the greatest value for it to round to 81? It would be 81.4, but the answer is 81.5. Number 5, 14.8. It wants the error interval. So see how there's a y in the middle there for the answer. So it wants to know the smallest value for 14.8 and the largest value. So the smallest value to the round to 14.8 is 14.75, because 14.75 would round to 0, 14.8. So it would be 14.75 as the first value. And you see how next to that y, the less than value, there's a line underneath. This means it can equal 14.5, or it will have to be greater than 14.75. That's what I meant. But as you can see, there's no line underneath the next value, which is 14.85. That's because if it was to be 14.85, it would round up to 14.9. So it has to be less than 14.85, and it can also equal 14.75 or greater than 14.75. Well, the next question says 1.51. Write down the error interval. So that'll be 1.505, because that's the smallest number that would round to 1.51. This is all about rounding. If you know how to round, you then understand these sort of questions, you then know what to do. And then it would then be 1.515, because that is the value that would then round down to 1.51. That value it has to be less than 1.51. There is no line underneath that less than value, so it's not equal to 1.515. Then question 17. A number is I can't even pronounce that. but pretty much that means they've chopped off the decimal part of the number, so the decimal number doesn't exist. I'll write it down and I'll explain it to you. So it pretty much means it's not chopped off decimal, but it's chopped off the next number that should have been there. So with 9.58, it basically means that the last value of 9.58 has been removed. So see how it's 9.58? If you had 9.583, it would go to 9.58. And it also means that if you had another value, for example, let's say you had 9.587 or 9.588, it hasn't been rounded because it would round up. What it's done is just chopped off the last number, so it'd be 9.58. Therefore, the lowest value it could be is 9.58 for it to be 9.58. And the highest value is for it has to be less than 9.59, because anything less than 9.59 is 9.589, for example. Then same with this one. If you ever see that number, just put as the smallest value as the value that it's given you. So it's giving you 3.57 if it makes it easier, and then just add 1 to the smallest value it has. So 3.58. That's another way you can see this. If you see that number, that's just what you do. Number question 21. It's the hardest one. A number is rounded to one significant figure. So you've got 6,000. One significant figure is that 6. So it wants to find what makes it round to 6,000. That would be, so you're looking at the next one next to it. So that would be 5,500. Because that is the smallest number that would round up to the thousands, because you're looking at the thousand column, and it has to be greater than or equal to, so it has to be greater than or equal to 5,500 or less than 6,500. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and it gave you a bit more of an insight into error intervals. Any other sort of questions, leave in the comment box, and I wish you guys the best of luck if you have any exams starting now. And yeah, see you around.